It is our 4-year anniversary. It's DTS 208. Some awesome Destiny news. We're talking Steam style stuff, and we're talking about the last 4 years. All that and more coming up.
You're listening to Destiny, the show.
Welcome to the DTS podcast, everyone. My name is BBKDRAGOON. I'm joined as always by my great co-host, Ditty. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I didn't think one bit about it being the 4-year anniversary until we literally just recorded the cold open right there. My goodness, my man. 2 things I got to say. Number 1, and for the listeners to hear this, Ditty is an amazing friend. Him and his fiance have been an incredible, awesome set of people the last 4 years and even longer from before then. But just, I have such a huge sense of appreciation to both of you guys for letting you do the show, for being an awesome friend, and just for sticking through for 4 years every single week with DTS. And then the second thing I want to say is, holy cow, listeners, you guys rock. 4 years of Destiny the show, and it's pretty surreal. So you are appreciated. All right, Diddy, I'm going to cry. How are you? How's your week?
I'm doing pretty great. This week is slow, of course. In the U.S., we've got that holiday right in the middle of the week, 4th of July.
Yeah.
And
it's weird.
Thank you for the kind words at the top of the show. Thank you so much.
I mean, every one of them.
I mean, I
seriously
be here.
do. Like,
I wouldn't be here
week,
if
man.
you didn't ask me to be a part of the show because you needed help, because you didn't know about Destiny at all.
I mean, I looked at the Wikipedia before I recorded episode 1. That counts, right?
Yeah, I think that counts. That's the original DTS show notes.
Oh, you know, the speculation back then about race stuff and faction stuff and all. I mean,
Destiny
imagination ran wild back then. And
yeah, like your subclasses, your if you were an Exo or an Awoken, what does that mean? Yeah, whatever you look like.
Here we are 4 years later. Doesn't mean a whole lot. You're either a robot, somebody who's purple, or a person. So I picked purple. I've been purple ever since day 1, baby. All purple characters.
Nice. That was what my alpha character was.
You played
alpha
Awoken?
And beta. I played Awoken male. Yeah.
And you've been human ever since, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Human female ever since.
I know that, but like, why human?
They had better hairstyles. I don't know. All the hairstyles were the same, so I guess I can't use that.
Did we ever meme Destiny 2 for having literally like the copy pasta same cosmetic appearance character builder? Like,
I mean, I think, didn't they remove a few options as well? Like there were fewer options, I thought.
I was blown away. Anyway, today's show is just sort of a celebration. We actually have...
It's our moment of triumph.
Too soon. They're not having that this year, Ditty. Jeez. Too soon. We actually had a great TWAB. In all honesty, reading through the TWAB, we are finally seeing that ball rolling where it's like, okay, the fall giant 2.0 Destiny is, I'm air quoting, saved. Like the big change is coming, and the TWAB outlines that. But before we get there, we want to talk about the Steam Summer Sale because we know a lot of our listeners are PC players, and there's a few games on here people just have to play at these prices, right?
Yeah, I mean, rip wallets. I mean, you only have a few more days. You have until Thursday, July 5th, to get these deals, at least in the U.S., and jump on some of these. They're pretty good.
All right, let's jump on it. All right, Ditty, what is your pick for games first? I've got a few here, but I'm interested in hearing what yours are.
I mean, for a whole 57% off, you can get the Activision collection off of this Steam store for a low price of $437.66.
How generous of Activision to drop to such a low, affordable price.
I mean, you get Gun, the original Call of Duty United Defense, Call of Duty 2, Vampire, The Masquerade, Geometry Wars, that's worth $400 in and of itself, and a bunch of others, mainly Call of Duty, for a steal, I think. 57% off. That's crazy.
For real, what is your recommendation that's not a meme game?
Well, I got you into it. Killing Floor 2, I've talked about it a few times. It's, I think, $12.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
For $12, that's value. It's a super fun first-person shooter survival zombie game with a bunch of maps, different bosses, different classes, leveling system, slow motion action, consumables, or not consumables, excuse me. I meant cosmetics that you can purchase. Of course, there are microtransactions. It's 2018. The games have to have them. And it's just such a fun game. $12, you're going to get 20 hours easy of enjoyment out of that.
If you like wave-based survival stuff, it is fantastic. There's a part of my heart that broke playing it with you and your fiance this week because it's like, it knows what it's supposed to be and it delivers on that. And I think back to Prison of Elders and Destiny, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if you guys could have just been more like just a simplistic wave-based survival thing, people would have been thrilled.
It's like the Gartner Magic Quadrant of first-person shooters, right? It has more completeness of its vision, and it executes very well. I mean, if you're not working full time, you might not know what Gartner is, but there you go.
Yeah, what just happened? The IQ level just jumped 30 points. I'm sitting here like, what? What are you talking about?
I mean, I don't even know exactly what they do, but they take a product, compete all the companies against one another, and see which ones are the best. Okay. Magic Quadrant is what you want to be in. There you go.
Deal. My few games. The Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition is $20.
Yes.
Awesome RPG.
I've been eyeing that. I might get it.
If you guys like Dungeons and Dragons, or if you like games that give you stupid amounts of freedom, Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the greatest games I have ever played, to the point where it's over freaking whelming. It's this top-down RPG, and you can literally do almost anything you want, Ditty. Every single objective there's 8 different ways to do everything. Like the very beginning of the game, it's not a spoiler, you have to escape an island. There are 15 different ways to get off this island, it seems like. And the way I chose, I went down to the beach, I killed a crocodile. The crocodile dropped these gloves of teleportation. I teleported my group from these cliffs to these other cliffs that actually teleported me over to a dock, and I got in a boat and I left. And it was all literally like, I wonder if I can move my party over there. And that's how the whole game is, dude. If you can sort of think it, you can do it. So that one's fantastic. And then the final one, Vanquish. It's like $7. This is a game made by Platinum, the people who have created tons of great action games. My most recent favorite, Nier Automata. Vanquish is this third-person action shooter game. Not long, but it's freaking sweet and an awesome PC port. So those are my picks.
Also, I'll say, I'm just looking at the list here. Borderlands 2 is $5. Worth it. It doesn't have any of the DLCs. It's just the base game, $5. I'm sure they have bundles there that are on sale as well. And Portal 2 is $2. There you go. Do that. Great co-op experience, great story mode. It's a super fun puzzle game. Do that.
Dude, PC, we're so spoiled. So stinking spoiled, man. $2 for some of these things that are like, wow, that's one of the best games I've ever played.
Fallout New Vegas is under $4.
Oh my goodness. I haven't bought much this Steam sale. I literally bought one game, and that was Final Fantasy X on PC, and I've been waiting to buy that on a sale for years now. So why don't we transition into probably the best TWAB of 2018 so far? Maybe not that best TWAB, but a really good TWAB of 2018 so far. Bungie's back from E3. We have a new infographic that outlines the events and stuff that's coming down the pipeline. And Ditty, why don't we look at the image and describe it to our listeners who are obviously playing like radio theater right now. We've got Bungie Day coming up on 7/7. For maybe somebody who's new to the Destiny universe, Bungie Day is basically this celebration of Bungie as a company. They used to, during the Halo days, hop into the playlists, and you could match Bungie employees, and if you beat them and got if you staked them, right, which was like a 25-point difference, I'm trying to remember.
A stake is beating in team game 50 to 30.
Okay, yeah, and if you staked them, Wouldn't they send you something, or they'd buy you a steak dinner or something like that?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I matched them during the Reach days, and I beat a squad, but we did not stake them. I remember that. That was like the early days of my YouTube channel. I was very excited for Bungie Day back then. And then Guardian Con is coming up July 13th through the 14th. Are you surprised to see them throwing Guardian Con actually onto the branding here?
No. I mean, Guardian Con originated with Destiny. They want to support that charity stream, or charity event, I should say. And there you go. Guardian Con has, of course, expanded to other games. So there's going to be Warframe, Realm Royale, all other developers there supporting this really great cause for St. Jude.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about, I think Bungie might be getting a little jealous. They see Warframe cozying up with Guardian Con. Warframe's going to have a pretty big presence at Guardian Con, mind you guys. And
that's awesome.
It's an amazing event. If you guys can support the Guardian Con stream leading up to it. And of course, if you are anywhere in the area and can go, I've heard Guardian Con is amazing. We've had listeners go before. I would love to go at some point, and it's just incredible to see how that event has grown. The people behind it are fantastic, some really big pillars within the Destiny community and beyond, and it is growing into one of the biggest gaming events each year. So I'm very, very interested to watch what's going to happen this year as they expand out into different games and different communities even further than they did last year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, rest of July is the stuff that you can expect. You have Update 123 coming on July 17th. We talked a little bit about that in last week's show. And then you have Supremacy and Doubles and Faction Rallies. But Ditty, what is coming at the end of the month?
Solstice of Heroes.
So speculate, the summer event, Solstice of Heroes. Is this our memories, our triumphs? What is this?
I don't know. I don't know. What? That's a really great question. We have no idea what this is. The title does not shed any light as to what the event could possibly be. I mean, hopefully it is Triumph, because it is, the Solstice of Heroes, right? And who are the heroes in the Destiny universe? Well, we are, because we've killed a few gods and protected the city, I think we're doing a pretty good job.
It's a 5-week event. So, I don't know if it's 5 weeks. Let me just rephrase that. It says it starts July 31st. 5 weeks after July 31st, you've got Forsaken releasing. So I'm curious to see if this is just a little PvP event, if this is a Triumphs kind of event, which I don't think so, man. That doesn't seem like enough time for you to complete all the little nodes and get your t-shirt like we have in the past, right?
Well, I mean, it's going to be, the Age of Triumphs, right? With that whole summer of activities, that was wrapping up Destiny 1 as a whole. Mm-hmm. And we had a few more months, right? And this is, I don't know, wrapping up Destiny 2 in a nice little bow, and then Forsaken comes out. I think that's enough time. 5 weeks
to get some stuff done. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'd be interested in hearing what our listeners have to say in our Discord, discord.me/Destiny the Show. Update 123 is coming on July 17th, and it's pretty sweet. So in the Crucible, Ditty, we're going to 6v6. Across the board. It's happening pre-Forsaken. I know a lot of people are very excited about this. Some people who are like, well, they should still have 4s and 6s as an option. I landed the camp of I'm very excited it's going to 6s, and I don't think, that, at least on PC, the population is big enough to support having a 4s playlist and a 6s playlist. And we're talking about quick play currently. So,
yeah,
your thoughts?
I think this is a great move. Yeah, this is the way it should go, and I agree with you. If they're not keeping 4v4s in it, which it looks like they're not, then it's definitely a playlist population discussion that they've had internally. Yep. They probably don't want to, segment that PvP community even further by, having, if you have just a random number, if you have 5,000 players, right, and 1,000 of them like to play 4v4 and 4,000 like to play 6v6, well, yeah, that's majority. So let's do 6v6. And then not have slower matchmaking times. It's something they're going to have to cater to the masses and not to the community as a whole. I don't know.
I talked to Sassy a lot, and Sassy's been on the competitive grind continually. He plays at a very high level with really high level people day in, day out. And there's not a ton of people on PC grinding comp at the super high end. There are some awesome players, but mind you, it's not overflowing, and so any choices that you make, you have to be very careful here regarding that population. So they're removing supremacy from quick play altogether, which is like, I don't know about you, but I'm like, okay, cool. They got the message, I guess.
Yeah, that's where they're moving it to that rotational playlist.
And then in regards to Rumble, it's going to be a full-time playlist. Like you said,
Nice.
Supremacy will be like on the weekly featured rotation. For the Crucible rank side of things, players will be able to earn Valor rank from additional playlists, competitive Crucible Labs, Iron Banner, Trials of the Nine. That is fantastic, and that is something we have talked about from the very inception of Valor ranks in the game.
It makes the most
awesome.
sense. It makes the most sense. It's that global ranked. How much Destiny PvP do you play? There you go.
It literally is like we just went back to Halo 3.
Reach.
No, back, you know, you have your social.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you're right. You're more right with that. Fine, Captain. I made a ranking video for a Halo ranking system that was, 30 minutes long?
It was about 15 or 18 minutes long, where I detailed the ideal Halo ranking system, and Halo 5 has something pretty dang close to that.
Minus the whole... Never mind. I've been talking to the Halo players about it. Menke, who was my hero for forever, the guy who designed the StarCraft 2 ladder system.
Right.
They made a really controversial change like 6 months ago with Halo's ranking stuff, and
really?
I do not agree with it. So, moving along right here. Joining a game in progress will protect your Valor win streak for that game. If you lose, no penalties incurred to your Valor win streak. If you win, Valor win streak increases. Could all games do this, please?
Yeah,
I love it.
That makes sense. Yeah, joining in progress should not have done that in the first place, and I'm glad they're correcting it.
Yep. Big one. Players will be matched using their glory rank. This means your opponents will be of a similar rank to you. The higher you climb, the tougher the opponent.
You mean
As
the
it
rank
stands
you earn is the one you're matched against?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
What a
Mind-blowing.
concept. Oof.
It's good.
Geniuses.
Up until this point, it's your hidden SBMM that's behind your name. Like, you're basically your hidden ELO. So you could literally be playing at like 200 glory, and if you have a super high SBMM rank behind your, like, the hidden one, you could be matching guys with 3K glory or whatever, and you're just starting. You're like, doesn't make much sense. That's the controversial change they did with Halo 5, dude. Is you now have like Snipedown tweeted about it today over to Joshua Menke. He's like, "Hi, I'm in plat right now. Why am I matching teams of champions?" And it's like, well, okay then. Even if you are Snipedown. Glory loss streaks will be retuned to be less punishing over time. Consecutive losses will decrease the rank points lost instead of increasing, and streaks will still cap out at 5. All rank streaks will no longer reset once they hit their cap. Cool. Sweet. All right.
Those are all really great
raids.
changes. Those
You're
are all
excited
great
for
changes.
raids.
Yeah. Raids are happening. They're happening finally.
The prestige modes for the Lairs, correct? That's the main thing that they're targeting and talking about here.
Yep. Update 1.2.3 is launching Prestige for both Spire of Stars and Eater of Worlds, finally. So you have a few weeks before Forsaken to do those, and 400 power weapons. 400 light power weapons are happening, 400 power weapons. I read it as power weapons, like the heavy slot.
I knew what you were thinking. It's just we played too much D1. I still think light. They can say power all they want. I liked light better.
Yeah. So that's what I meant. Max level until Forsaken, which is 600. There you go. Available for you to get.
600? You mean 400?
I meant 600 for Forsaken. 400 for Prestige
okay.
layer until then. Yeah.
That made sense. Each Prestige raid layer will have its own set of unique armor ornaments, and
Nice.
both raid layers will have a Masterworks catalyst that can be found only as a rare drop within the activity. And this is the curated raidy thing that they talked about a long time ago. Daniel Ockenpaw, I think, was the guy who brought that update. This one is what Joe... I think the senior raid designer, Joe Blackburn, talking about it. So essentially, these curated raids are going to have curated weapon loadouts that are based on weapon archetypes. So over the summer, you might see combinations that require you to equip auto rifle, submachine gun, and sniper rifle or scout rifle, hand cannon, rocket launchers. Loadouts are not locked inside the prestige raid layer. You can bring tons of different guns into a raid layer and swap between them at will, as long as the gun meets the required curation. We are shipping 3 activity modifiers that the raid layers rotate between. 2 of these modifiers are brand new and were built from the ground up by the raid team to work in raids. The third is a fan favorite from Destiny 2, Prism. Each of these modifiers is designed to provide Guardians with advantages over their enemies when they lean into it. The goal of using these modifiers in loadouts is to change the way you engage with the Prestige raid every single week. The first week, the modifier and weapon loadout might synergize really well with strategies and armor exotics you've been using for months. Next week, modifier and weapon loadout might push you to explore the encounter in a different way and use different exotic armors. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I 100% agreed. I mean, it's some are going to be comfortable, like they said, and some are going to be like, why am I using a sidearm against the boss? And why do I have to use a grenade launcher? That's not the colony. What the heck, you know?
Do you remember challenges in D1 rating?
Yes.
This is what it should have been all along, don't you feel?
You mean the curated loadout should have been included in the challenges in D1?
That's what I'm saying, is this is probably more refined vision of what challenges should have ultimately been. Like, challenges in D1 were just not... You didn't really have to do a whole lot to change the way you played the encounter out. You know what I mean?
I got it, yeah. And I think...
This, to me, feels more like a raid challenge system.
Yeah, more refined, like you said. Yeah, I agree with that.
I wish this was a thing in D1, to be honest with you, because you and I raided a lot in Destiny 1, far more than we raid in Destiny 2. It's awesome to see, and as a system moving forward, this may entice me to try and get back into raiding and finding a crew to raid with. As it stands now, I'm sort of just a PvP guy, and these are really cool changes, though, for the most part, right?
You know what I would really like to see moving forward? I'm looking towards the future, like after Forsaken. Forsaken's changing the weapon slots, right? I would love to see a curated prestige raid or lair that requires 3 shotguns because they're marketing that so hard. Because then hopefully the boss that requires that encounter wouldn't push you away with a one-hit death stomp, you know? Like you can actually do like a melee boss or something that requires you to use 3 shotguns. I think that would actually be pretty cool. Difficult, but cool.
So they talked then about collections. And this will wrap up the TWAB. Essentially, collections when it comes to Forsaken are going to be really, really improved. So essentially, what items from Year 1 inventory will collections track? Collections include any weapon, armor piece, ghost, ship, sparrow, emblem, or shader available in Year 1 of Destiny 2. And they seem to really be working towards the collector with this idea of collections, correct?
Yes.
And are you the kind of person who, I guess it takes a special kind of player, but there really are completionists when it comes to Destiny who want all the stuff and want to see in a very clean UI way what they're missing, what they need, that kind of a thing. I'm pretty curious to see if they can show what activities this weapon drops from, right? If you highlight over it in your collection, you're like, where can I get this? All that stuff.
Exactly. Yep. I think that would be ideal because, one, I mean, yeah, it takes out the mystery of the random drop, right? You know, if in Destiny said, oh, the best way to get the Gjallarhorn was to play PvP or something like that. And then you're like, okay, now I know what I need to do to go get it. But it removes that mystery. I like knowing how to get certain things, even if it's you need to play for 18 hours straight to get this thing. And then at the very end of that 18 hours, you need to do this one specific thing, unless you have to do it all over again. Okay, that's fine. I know how to do it. It's a goal that I can set when I take PTO off work or over a weekend or something, you know?
The last thing to think about when it comes to collections is you're going to be able to pull out those Year 1 items, no problem, right? It will cost some kind of currency to pull it out.
Legendary
but they're
shards,
introducing,
probably.
And I think they talked a little bit about it in there, but essentially with Year 2, they have random perk rolls coming back into the game. So they had to make the decision to disable purchase of all Year 2 randomly rolled legendary weapons and armor out of your collection, and they're looking for a longer-term solution. So essentially, they can't give us a whole lot more inventory space, and we're about to get another year worth of stuff. you're going to be able to dismantle a lot of your year 1 gear because the collection will have it tracked and you can pull it out of there no problem. When it comes to the year 2 stuff, since they don't quite know how to handle it, I mean, imagine Ditty, I could just pull out however many year 2 of X gun I want and get a different roll every time. That completely breaks the whole random roll system, right?
I mean, that's kind of like re-rolling, right?
Yeah. It's exactly like re-rolling. Sorry, I just hit my water ball on the desk.
I mean, they either do that, where it's a re-roll every single time, which, you know, take it or leave it, or it's a static roll whenever you take it out, and then you can re-roll it later. I don't know.
They might go with that system down the road, but I think for now, this is sort of like, hey, here's how we're going to clear up the inventory space since we can't give you any more extra memory slots.
Right, yeah.
And that's our Mega TWAB. Ultimately, this is what we're looking at. Update 123 goes live July 17th and really does mark that beginning of that transition, the changing of the guard to the Forsaken stuff this fall. It has been a pretty long time. Destiny 2 feels like it released a very long time ago, and I've had ups and downs with the game. Ultimately, I think Warmind has improved my perception on it quite a bit. But I'm looking forward to tasting what Destiny 2 is actually supposed to be. How about you?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with your sentiment that it seems like a very long time ago that Destiny 2 launched. It's been a grind just to get through to where we are today and where we're going in September. I think it's made a lot of improvements. Yeah, it took away a lot from where we were a year ago, but they've made some really good improvements, and, you know, support them if you want. Get Forsaken.
I think it's silly to be, I don't know how to phrase it, but I'm always willing to come back to a game once it's improved. Let's just put it that way. There's been games that...
Yeah, when you see a developer has put the time and the effort to respond to the community feedback and to improve the game based on either that community sentiment or just quality of life changes, then yeah. I mean, ultimately, who plays the game? The community. Developers play it too, but that's a smaller community than the worldwide gaming community. And if your customers don't like the product, then adapt or die. And they are seeming to adapt, whether it is back to where they were or making improvements on established systems. They're trying to turn the ship around.
Well said. All right, man. 4 years of DTS. There are no big announcements. Even though Ditty keeps freaking saying there are announcements, we had no big announcements for this show. Other than thank you for listening and supporting Destiny the show for 4 years. It has been an awesome adventure, and I really do. I look forward to Forsaken. I know Ditty does as well. This is going to be... I think we're going to enjoy the next few months. So
I would like to announce one announcement. DTS Discord is available. Discord.me/Destiny the show for free. There you go. That's my announcement.
I literally thought you were going to be like, my fiance is pregnant.
No.
And I was like,
no.
Oh my gosh.
She can't give birth to furry babies because puppies are the best.
You already have 2 furry babies.
Yeah, we can't have a third because our apartment complex won't allow it.
You have a 2-dog limit. They're protecting you.
I mean, we have a less than 800 square foot apartment, so the 2 is already too much.
And you're not cat people, right?
No, we can't be because we're both allergic to cats, but I'm allergic to all fur. So that's the main point. We have poodles, not doodles, and I have to make that clarification, man. I'm sorry, the doodle community has ruined the poodle image. If you're looking at getting a doodle, you want a poodle, just do it.
What is a doodle?
A doodle is any dog breed mixed with a poodle. So Labradoodle, Golden Doodle, Maltipoo, which is a Maltese, and a mini poodle or a toy poodle.
A Maltipoo?
Yeah, a Maltipoo. The Maltese is a little small white dog with hair.
I know what a Maltese is. Yeah.
And then there's a Bernedoodle. There's all this crap. You want a poodle, just do it. There you go.
All right. Where can people find your content, man?
Well, they can find my poodle content on Instagram, Flynn_and_whiskey, and twitter.com/DittyDTS, DITTYDTS, and youtube.com/Wooshness, WOOOSHNESS.
All the links from today, which is just the TWAB, and I think, is on our website, destinytheshow.com. You can give us a follow on Twitter at Destiny the Show. All we do is tweet when the new show's live. We won't spam your feed with anything else. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at BBKDRAGOON. I make YouTube videos, and I tend to meme a little bit
You
on
make
Twitter
YouTube
every once in a while.
videos?
No, not often. Not
Oh my
really.
gosh.
Yeah. Thanks for 4 years. It's been awesome, and I'm looking forward to the next few months. So, Ditty, adios, muchacho. Adios.